Hi everybody, my name is Ryan and this is lesson 24 of learning JavaScript. In this lesson we're going to learn about a very useful feature in JavaScript called the window timer. So we'll link to a external JavaScript file and we'll have a div tag where we can output some information. In the JavaScript file we will link to our block using document.getElementById, storing that in the block variable, and then I'm going to call a function called annoy, which is going to annoy us. So we'll write a new function to demonstrate how the window timer works. So I'm going to need to output some text to this block, and because the block variable was declared inside this function, I need to actually turn this into a global variable. Then I'll be able to access it everywhere. So I'm just going to say something like, are you annoyed yet? I'm going to concatenate to the existing value of the div, and I'm going to run this code. It says, are you annoyed yet? And then we're going to use the window.setTimeout function or method. You give it the name of the function you wish to call and the number of milliseconds to wait before calling that function. So this is what we call a recursive function because it keeps calling itself over and over again, and it will call itself after every 2 seconds or every 2000 milliseconds. So what we're doing is we're creating an infinite loop. It's a safe infinite loop, however, because of the delay. It's not like a normal for loop that runs several times per second. It actually waits for this 2 seconds to expire before calling the annoy function for a second time, and then it will add some more text to the div, wait another 2 seconds, call the annoy function again, and so on. So let's watch what happens. After every 2 seconds you can see that it keeps adding text to the div, and this will run forever or until such time as I close the browser. So this is an example of how we use the built-in window timer. I'm going to use this opportunity to create a digital clock because it works on the same principle. So instead of calling this function annoy, I'm going to call it tick. And then I'm going to, in the tick function, I'm going to get the current date. We do this by creating a child object. You'll remember from the lesson we did on the date object earlier on. We say var now is equal to new date. That creates a child object of the parent date object. And then we can get the individual components of that. So we can get the hour by using now.getHours. We can get the minutes by using now.getMinutes. And we can use this, get the second by using now.getSeconds. And then we're going to display that into our block. I'm just going to put the hour, then I'm going to put a colon, the minute, and then the second. Let's see what that looks like. So there's the current time, 6 minutes past 2, 31 seconds. What I would like to do, however, is display double digits. So 1406 to look a bit better. So to do that, I'm going to do this for the hour, the minute, and the second. So I'll write a function called leading 0, which takes a number, and the purpose of this function will be to add a leading 0 to a number if it is less than 10. So if the number is less than a value of 10, then we will say return a 0 concatenated with the number. That will add a 0 before the number. Else, we simply will return the number itself. So if the number is 10 or more, the number will just be returned. We can simplify this by using the ternary operator, which we learnt about earlier on in the course. So you would first do the test. If the number is less than 10, question mark. Remember, if it's true, it does what's after the question mark, so it will return a 0 plus the number. A colon, which means the false part of the statement. If it's false, it will just return the number. So you can see it's much more compact using the ternary operator. And then I will just add that function call each step of the process. Remember, it does the inside brackets first, and then it does the outside brackets. So first it will get the hour, the minute, and the second, and then it will send that to the leading 0 function to determine whether or not it needs to add a leading 0. So that's much better now. It's got a double digit, so it looks like a proper clock. And now the last step is just to get it to tick, and to do that we use the window timer. So we'll just say window.setTimeout, and we'll tell it to call the tick function after 1000 milliseconds, which is 1 second. So after every 1 second it will just keep calling itself. So we should theoretically have a clock that ticks every second. And there we have the window timer with a nice example of where we can use it.